Well, today I'm talking with Carl Bennett, the Practice Manager of Mobile Applications for Field Force Use from Logical Tech. We've been going 27 years in business solutions for industry and the mobility practice about 3 years. Recently it's really accelerated and there's a lot of momentum in this space, largely because of smartphones and tablets. These smart devices really change computing, change business process and change the value equation for field force staff. And Carl is right at the leading edge of this in Australia, and there's a lot of momentum that we're responding to in this space. So with this particular video and interview, just wanting to focus on operations managers and supervisors. So Carl, what are they looking for and what do they get out of a solution like Field Tracker that we've been delivering in the market?
John, there are many things, but I guess if you're looking at it from an operations perspective or a supervisor, you're looking to make sure that you're getting the efficiencies of planning so that you're able to make sure that your staff go out there armed with the information that's relevant to taking them to the tasks they had to perform and the tasks they actually have to do. So you get there, your workflow's in place, the application's driving what it needs to do, and it's focused on capturing just what you need to do. We've got an existing client, for instance, John, that used to do their planning work. It used to take about 2 weeks. Now they do it in a matter of hours. So that's the sort of efficiencies you can look to gain for those sorts of things.
Great. And what are the areas that operations managers really get value out of with Field Tracker type mobile applications?
Well, one of the things that I guess is one of the first things you exploit is that these are smart devices, smartphones and tablets, is you get to actually exploit the capabilities of the phones and the tablets themselves. And by that I mean things like the use of the camera, the use of the GPS and the compass to integrate that into the application. Simple example, if you know you're going to be visiting a number of locations or sites and that's pre-planned, then when you turn your application on at that site, there's no searching for it and finding it. It knows where you are. It says, you're at site ABC, I'm ready for you to start going through your workflow, capturing your data straight away. So that way you're actually using the power of the phone to make it efficient and fast and targeted, and the users can just get in and capture the data straight away. That's important.
Great. So some of the field staff we've talked to, and I've even thought about naming this application the Gumboots application, because Carl actually went out with field staff to make sure that what was built was really streamlined and made life really easy for field staff, did the thinking for them, checklists of what to get and what to take, where to be, what to do when they get there. So how do the field staff respond to the ease of use, etc., that you've built into the Field Tracker apps?
John, look, it's like all things, it takes time and effort and actually being on site to make sure these things are as best as you can make them. There's no substitute for actually being with field staff and actually seeing what they're doing firsthand, taking those learnings and injecting it back in the application. We've found, for instance, that if you keep the application targeted and small at what it's trying to do, and you make sure that it's easy to use, nice big fat buttons, you don't have to do complex things or squint or put on glasses to read the device, that it's far easier for people to get what they need captured in one shot and move on. And the power of that allows you to make sure that you can put the appropriate validation and controls behind it, your workflow and your processes, so that what you do capture is correct. You don't have to go back there and do it again.
Great. So really tuning the application flow, the workflow, and using the GPS facilities, etc., and the photography available in the iPhones. That's all part of the application workflow you built in. Is that right?
Absolutely, John. With your planning, you're able to make sure that you can see where people are actually going on their various field trips. You can tune that so that you're going through in the most efficient manner, and that helps to reduce your operating costs, both time in the field, petrol costs, travel costs, wear and tear, because you know where people are going, you can make those plans better, and you can react to change in the field. It's not like it's this way and it's only that way. You can change it on the fly. That's an important part. But going back to what you said with the camera, there's some excellent features there. Instead of using a digital camera and taking a photo and taking it back to the office and renaming the file, uploading it to wherever it's got to go, you can now integrate those features directly in the camera, so you can have it compress the file to the sizes you want, name the file, capture comments, have the whole lot integrated together so that information at the back end can be appropriately mined and viewed and reported on. These are fantastic things you can do, John.
Yeah, fabulous. And then with, what's the right device? We've talk to some operations managers, they're not sure about ruggedised laptops or ruggedised portable devices or tablets or iPhones or Androids. What do you recommend? What's the right devices for these apps?
John, that's a really interesting question, and it's not one course that suits all. It's circumstances. If you're going to be moving, driving somewhere and getting out of your vehicle and moving around, whether you're walking down a track or crossing rivers or bridges or whatever it might be, you don't want to have to be carrying something that's difficult to carry. It could be raining, it could be hot, dusty. You want something that's easy and portable. Bear in mind you might be carrying other equipment. If you're doing water-related tasks, you're probably carrying other things as well.
Right.
So you want something that's fit for purpose, that's the right size. If you're capturing readings, entering a simple set of numbers and responding to checklists and so forth, then a phone is a perfect device for that. If you need to do a little bit more, perhaps see more material on the screen, perhaps capture more, then perhaps a tablet might be appropriate. But I've found from experience that most tasks can be broken down into smaller components, and generally speaking, unless it's extremely complicated, John, I think a phone will do it 9 times out of 10.
That's good, and I've seen some of the analytic charts that you produce in the field for the guy planning to measure data, and tells him whether it's right or wrong. If he's got a measurement wrong, it'll put an alert and so on. It's amazing what you can get on these when it's well designed, which I think clearly Field Tracker is with the take-up we're seeing from users. That leads me to the final question for our ops managers and supervisors. What if their application and their workflow is a bit different? How does an application like Field Tracker, how's it going to work for them when what's been built out of the box might be close but not quite right?
That's interesting, John, because what we do here, as you know, is not a solution that's fit for everybody, that you just take it out of the box and turn it on and that's your solution. With the underlying components of what we've built can be reassembled in any shape or form to be customised for your requirements, for the client's requirements, so that the elements behind all of this are often very similar, but what the client wants is is invariably very specific. They have their own policies and procedures and ways they want to go about doing things. So the targeted application needs to respond to that and manage exactly what they want to manage. But with our libraries of functions, John, we can do that quickly and reliably with tested components. That's
a great tool, and I understand the investment cost by the business, particularly for operations and field staff, might be up to 80% less than other approaches with mobile solutions because of that reusability and modularity of the library. Great platform idea. So how do operations managers go about designing and implementing a solution for their field staff? Where do they start, Carl? What do you recommend?
Come talk to us. I mean, the first thing is we need to sit down and talk to you as a business to find out what is it that you want to do. Now, we can understand what you're currently doing today, but we can then take our advantage of our experience with other clients and say, look, this is what's happening over here. We see an opportunity here to make this more efficient. We can apply our application to that, and we can come up with something for you, the customer, that's really as fast and as efficient as we possibly can, but meets all your needs.
Fabulous. So that's the invitation to invite Carl to put on his gumboots and go follow the field staff. Okay. Thank you very much.